Mark here for another great Wisdom and Knowledge 5 podcast. And before I begin, I just want to say this podcast is 100% independent, uncensored, and unapologetic, just how truth should be. And if you'd like to donate to, fuel my mission, you can do so in the link below in the description. Anyways, today we have a great guest here, Corey Myles. And Corey, we are going to break down, what is going on in our country right now. The LA protests, mass surveillance, you name it. And welcome to the podcast. Explain, how you came to understand how the world was run and how you've been awake for many years now.
Well, basically, I found it from just watching YouTube and finding stuff on there on YouTube from Call from the Uprising.
And you're somebody who doesn't buy into, you're not political, you don't buy into that game, you don't watch the news, you don't need that type of distraction or, game as part of your life, right?
Yeah, I would say so. It's just a matter just the news is a liar and always lying about everything that you see. So
Yeah. So let's begin by I want to share this with you right here. So the Attorney General likens LA to a third world country amid these protests. Well, we know that LA is not a third world country. This is pure, arrogance. And the one thing that I don't know if you know, but the one thing that I've heard from multiple people who live in LA is that it's only like a part of downtown where they're doing these protests. It's not, all of LA. The majority of LA is chill. And, another thing too that you see on social media is okay, there are people getting paid, there are paid protesters, and I'm not gonna dive that big into this, but there is posts that have said that, but not everyone is of that, you know, some people, if not the vast majority, are also people who just showed up to, take part in this, and they weren't being paid $1,000, which some of the posts said they were being paid $1,000, and that is beside the point because what is going on here is, you know, in my opinion, orchestrated. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Because
yeah,
not orchestrated, and a lot of people, I think, who are part of these protests don't get the ramifications of what this is leading to. They don't get that it's orchestrated because not everyone's being paid. Not everyone's, when you look at people burning cars and stuff, more than likely they were, getting paid. We can't verify that. We're not here to, say, are they getting paid? Are they not getting paid? But more than likely, those people probably were. And for the most part, it's been peaceful. So you have these mainstream medias, like you said, they lie, they did do their things, and then you have, they won't show the peaceful side of it. They'll just show this, that, and the other. And what is happening now is it says ICE prepares full assault on five Democratic cities as LA goes into lockdown amid immigration riots. Now, I don't know if there is a lockdown going on right now. I can't tell you. But one thing I will say is this. When you look at what's going on right now, like I said earlier, the vast majority of LA is not even experiencing this. You know what I mean? It's like a part of
no,
downtown. I've lived in LA for over 10 years. I was there in 2016 when they, took down uh, not when they took down, but when this election selection thing happened. Okay, so I was
Hmm.
there in 2016 uh, during that, and for 2 weeks they protested. So I have experience in LA, so I know where downtown is, Santa Monica, San Fernando Valley, you name it. So not all, it's just a small portion of LA is being affected by it. And one side wants to throw off on the other side, and what you and I get is that it's a game, right? When you
Yeah,
buy
yeah,
when you
definitely.
play into politics, it's a game. Left, right, blue, red. You know, uh, it's no different than Coke, Pepsi. They give you these choices. They give you these options, saying, "Hey, look, you got to support this. You got to support that. You got to, and all these options are leading to, you know, division
Hmm.
and conquer and divide game. And what it's doing is the destruction of humanity. Where if people like you and I, because you and I are people who stood up to 2020, when they did lockstep, when they went in lockstep around the world and locked down the whole world,
Yeah,
we stood up to that because this isn't adding up. It's not about health. If it was about health, they would actually let people breathe. They wouldn't deem perfectly healthy, intelligent, by the way, individuals a threat to society, in the name of something that we don't even know exists because they said there's no quantifiable isolates of that. But, anyways, back to this, throwing us back to this. I want to break down this mass surveillance state and I want to just share this clip right here and just break down what Palantir is. So, just one second. Okay, let me share this video out right here.
okay.
To create a database of all American citizens. Honestly, I'm not sure how much more deep state this could get. Palantir was founded by Peter Thiel, who was J.D. Vance, Trump's vice president's mentor. In fact, Peter Thiel brought J.D. Vance and Trump together. He also backed J.D. Vance with $15 million. Between Trump's $500 billion investment into Project Stargate, which is to create AI infrastructure in the United States, an AI surveillance state, and now promoting Palantir to create this database, this is the ultimate betrayal for anyone that still supports him, which I don't understand how anybody can't see through him by now. Maybe now it's clear since he's hand-delivering everybody's information to the CIA and Mossad. Honestly, I'm not sure how much more deep state Trump could get. Donald Trump has
So right there you have it. You know,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
Palantir, and that's why and that just, you know, uh rolled out about a week or so ago. So conveniently, not that long ago. So before these, protests, that rolled out. How convenient, you know what I mean? How
yeah,
so
yeah.
very convenient. And here's another great point right here. Dr. Aaron Kaufman, want to push back against the system? Start by building you. Get stronger, get healthier, get smarter. The most powerful form of resistance is becoming so secure, capable, and aware that no system can control you. People need to start getting this. You and I get it. Here's another great one. When you
Mm.
subscribe to the two-party illusion, it's easy to cheer for tyranny, so long as it comes from your side. Trump announces a centralized AI database run by Palantir. No surprise. Then comes the
Yeah,
LA, protests. Perfect justification. Point to failures in a city run by the other side, and suddenly the freedom crowd cheers centralized authoritarian tools they'd reject if the other party proposed them. See, if it was coming from the Democrats, the other side would be the Republicans would be no, what's going on? But
yeah,
coming from that side, they're like, yes, this is awesome. We want to be authoritarian ruled to the ground. as it
yeah,
won't be weaponized against them with the next regime change. The Freedom Crowd just helped build a chunk of their own digital prison. Now, not every the Freedom Crowd, I liken it to you and I, people like us. But anyways, all the more reason to stop falling for the illusion. Stop outsourcing your power to politicians. Get still, get centered, get right with your local community, and remember your own power deep inside of you. That is so true. The one way
yeah,
we can be a solution, that we can be a light in this world, is to continue to speak out, speak out on truths, share these videos left and right, like you and I are doing, like countless others are doing on, platforms that won't censor you, like Instagram and stuff. And I'm not saying that Instagram won't censor you, of course it will, but I mean,
yeah,
where they get at least a decent amount of truths out there. I mean, last week I was banned on TikTok for what reason? For good, for sharing my podcast clips. So you mean humanity can't speak out? And
yeah,
then with that thing, then way back when they had that hearing, the CEO's like, yeah, we're a free platform. After that hearing happened, and they wanted the ban, and it's all just a show. They don't want humanity speaking out. They don't want you and I, and that's why they're having this mass. They're rolling out this thing, and then they'll do it and say, hey, mass surveillance state.
mm, that's
We're
good.
coming after you. Whatever happened to the land of the free? America, a
Yeah,
land of the free. And you and I don't, prescribe to, people are speaking out and saying, well, these people are burning the flag. They're, at these protests, and we don't know if who those people are, or what is going on in their mind, but they're burning the American flag. They have the Mexican flag, and there was a really good post, and I don't want to post it. I don't want to, because censorship is real. But they're like, if you're getting offended by that, then why aren't you getting offended that 99.9%, if not, that the vast majority of the, political parasites are,
yeah,
in with Israel? That's dual
yeah,
citizenship. No,
yeah,
it's not. It's no longer the United States of America. It's not. It's the United States of Israel. It's insane. And I'm not against anyone waving a flag or holding the U.S. flag. Hey, do your own thing. That's freedom. You know what I mean? If
yeah,
you like the flag, and I don't hate I don't. I got nothing against the flag, but when our societies come to where it is full blown, the United States of is, you know, no, I'm not playing that. I'm for humanity, and wave your flag, do your thing, you know. But for me, you don't know what's going on, but the bottom line of this whole message and getting the message across is they want to have an authoritarian state.
mm, mm,
And you saw firsthand, right, what they were doing in
yeah,
2020. Lockdowns, mass, let's destroy
mm,
businesses. And they were doing that across the world.
yeah. I think that's going to bring in the lockdowns from other cities doing this stuff.
And well, did you see? Yeah, exactly. But what about this? Think about this for a second. 2020, right,
Yeah,
showed that not only the left, but the right, uh, you know, were full on for these lockdowns. Full
yeah,
on for these restrictions, full on for, bottom line, they were full on believing that perfectly healthy, intelligent people are a threat to society.
yeah,
You know, you witnessed it
yeah,
hands on. It was hands on that you witnessed this. So instead of people saying, hey, I'm the last. I'm not about doom and gloom. That's not why I'm here to preach our message. But ways of doing it, the ways of not doing it. The things that people are doing, playing the left versus right, or, this person, that person, oh, blame Soros, blame this, blame that, and the other. That never worked. That's not working. You know what I mean? We
Yeah,
have to
yeah,
hands down say, hey, look, we're going to speak out. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. We're going to be a light in this world. And that's why I interview, people from all over who are taking a stand, who fully comprehend what's going on in the world. People like yourself and I, and with the way that the world is going, especially the U.S., you know, they're going to continue to come after us, to come after our,
mm,
our voices. And it's like, we stand for humanity.
yeah,
We
yeah,
stand for
that,
human rights. We stand for peace. What's funny is that there was another post where they're like, you're coming after the conservatives or freedom, whatever you want to call them. I'm not into labels. Okay, right? They're saying, oh, they're coming after the people with blue hair and this, that, and the other. They're coming after them, and it's like, shouldn't you come after the Rothschilds, the big banks, the deep state? Shouldn't you be taking a stand against them?
yeah, definitely.
Because those people are of no threat, but the deep state, the ones who want us eliminated, is a depopulation agenda. People like Bill Gates, people, uh, you know, like Henry Kissinger, who has called us useless eaters. These inhumane people who want us eliminated. Shouldn't you be focusing your attention to say, hey, look, I'm not going to tolerate that. I'm going to stand against that.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, where do you personally see this going right now?
I don't know. I think it's more like more control, more lockdowns. That's all I can think right now.
Yeah,
That
and
it,
not necessarily like the
yeah,
lockdowns of 2020, more like, hey, we're going to
yeah,
turn this into a police state. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah. That too. I didn't think about that. More police state, and it would just since it's LA, it would just go all over the other cities, bit by bit.
Hmm. And it's
So
like, okay, you're over here in North Carolina. I'm over here in North Carolina. And yeah, and I'm so thankful that I'm here. But it's like what happens, they're trying to pull it everywhere. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
There's not going to be
yeah,
no if, ands, or buts. And there may be, places that are, freer than other places. But, first off, first and foremost, we are humanity. We outnumber the deep state and the people who are the so-called controllers. It's first off,
yeah,
this mentality of so-called controllers. It's like we control our own lives. We control our own destiny. We control how we react, how we respond, how we live, who we support,
mm,
you know?
yeah,
So we have a choice to say, hey, look, now we're going to stand up for humanity. We're going to stand for ourselves. We're going to stand against the people like Bill Gates, the people who everyone is, all these politicians, you know, they're all on the same club as Bill Gates. They're all if you think that they're into health and wellness, one thing, if they're into taking care of society, right? Health,
yeah,
wellness, then why are they so embedded in with a certain entity called Israel? And why
yeah,
are they also why if they want to make America healthy again, right? Ban
yeah,
GMOs. Not even talking about banning GMOs, and they would never talk about that because it's all and even further than using the Israel thing. You look at all these other entities, the bear who owns Monsanto. It's all corporations.
yeah,
So wouldn't it? so we should be standing against these, elites, these corporations, these ones trying to destroy society, to destroy our world.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
So, bottom line is, I just wanted to come on and you wanted to share your thoughts that we have to, really have discernment, really, comprehend what is going on in the world, what's truth, what's false, what's rolling out, because you and I, we're people who don't watch the news. We don't, get into that. We'll, uh, check out social media posts that, come firsthand. They're not,
Yeah,
bought and sold by the media that's, owned by the same companies. It's all just a game. And
yeah,
when you realize that it's a game, you can choose what part to participate in. You know what I mean? So much
yeah.
love to everyone standing up. Like I said before, be sure to follow this podcast. I am independently based. So if you'd like to donate, there is a link below. Much love to you. Keep on standing for humanity because that's what it takes. And don't buy into narratives. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Because narratives are destroying this society in this world. People bought into narratives by the left and the right by the masses in 2020, and you saw what happened. The world completely shifted. Imagine in 2020 if people had said, "Hey, look, this is common sense. Perfectly healthy, intelligent people are not a threat to society." And they said, by the masses, they said, "Nah, I'm not going to comply." Like you and I,
Mhm.
we're not going to comply.
Yeah.
But that's not what happened. So we need to stand. We need to be a light. We need to, you know, do what's right in this world. Much love to everyone for wisdom and knowledge. Five. Peace.
All right.